Bonjour, good morning or afternoon in this case. Wednesday the 14th. Right, I'm not going to film it because we filmed me doing the page coat already, but basically this top half needs finishing off. So that is what I'm going to be working on, get that done. I've been doing a bit of working out this morning. We're going to be going off tomorrow, hopefully, to get the wood to finish this wall, build the new wall over there. Measured up for the metal for the ceiling. Because of the height, we've got to drop the ceiling a little bit. Works out at about €300 for the materials to drop the ceiling. You do it anyway, and actually it's quite beneficial because it prevents cracking, because it allows the ceiling to move a little bit with the metal, which is always a good thing. So that's going to be happening as well. That's a nice big job to do, that is, and it'll be a big difference. Also, I mean, you know, we can start setting out for first fix and things like that, get pipes running, which will be later, but at least it means if we get a bit bored or, you know, we get held up, there's the potential to do that. Like I've said in the other videos, we're still waiting about the purlins. I've been down there today to get all the various sizes. So what will happen is next week I've got a meeting with mate Craig. We'll discuss how about we're going to do it, and then in the coming weeks we'll see about sorting that. I'm going to be off working full time for 3 weeks starting from Monday onwards. So I'm only going to be down here periodically sorting an odd little job out here and there. But then after that, the plan is to get the purlins in, cut rafters and get this roof finished off. So we've got that to look forward to in the future. Anyway, less waffling, let's get this rendered. Look how annoying that is. Ran out with that tiny little gap to go, and I've run out of lime as well, which means I've got to get a whole bag of lime just to do that small bit, which is annoying, but I've still got to do it out there, so it doesn't really matter. Hopefully getting more materials tomorrow, but apparently I've just found out it's possibly a bank holiday, so I'm hoping there's some shops open first thing in the morning. If not, it's going to be a bit scratchy, so I might have a big clear up. So anyway, let's see you in the next clip. Okay, it's Thursday. Bit of a disaster, really. We were discussing yesterday about materials and that, and my mate Wayne suddenly remembered it was a bank holiday today. Because why wouldn't you have a day off on a Thursday? Which is really annoying, because literally I was all planned to go get all this wood and all the metal for building the walls and doing the ceilings and stuff, so that's postponed it. So to keep myself busy, there was a few jobs that needed doing here that I just leave, just in case for these situations. So what's happened this morning is I've been up on the roof. On the other side and on this side there was the last little bit that I'd left exposed because it's not quite finished, purely because it needs tying in. But those last 3 rows of tiles, what I've done is I've put them in place just temporarily, and on the other side covered it all up. Basically that now means this part of the roof's all protected. You get 3 months like exposure with that membrane stuff. Like after 3 months it can start to degrade. Well, it's been there a few months now, so I think it was probably a good idea to get it covered. So that's now what's been done. Also, I've been an extremely busy boy. So this whole side, all the floor has been scraped with snots. All the crap's been off the floor. Any little bits have been hacked away. It's all been swept up underneath. So basically this floor is now prepped, ready on this side for the underfloor insulation. The only reason I'm not putting it down just yet is because I want to metal the ceiling first, just because it gives me something else to do. Same in this room over here. I've had a really good clean up. I've not put the page coat on yet, but you still need to clean it all off ready, so if anything drops on the floor you can pick it back up and reuse it, as opposed to it being mixed in with all the other crap. Also, all the scaffolding has been moved around, so that's now set up ready for the purlin on that side, because that'll be the first one that goes in, because the chances are we'll be using a forklift to lift it up and lift it over into place. So that was really hard work doing that on my own. Like, this scaffolding is not lightweight, so dragging that into place has been a pain. Likewise, this has been set in place ready for the ridge beam, which then means we just have to drag this one this way, therefore minimising how much stuff needs to be moved. The next job for me now, just to keep me busy for this afternoon, is to get this side all cleared up, all sorted. I'm probably going to cut up this soffit board just to get out of the way, and I think I'm going to lift that fascia up into the attic space. It's going to be a long time until that fascia board is going to be put up on that gable end, and it's sort of in the way, so I think I'll do that, and that's my little waffle over. We'll come back when I've done some more. Right, that's all the soffit board all cut up. So as you can see, I've already made a start battening it out and then fixing the soffit with the little nails, poly-headed ones. Right, I'll go out there and put some up. Right, that's as much soffit as I've got, so that's as far as I've gone, so we're going to need a fair bit more to finish off what needs doing. Tomorrow we'll go get some more materials, so hopefully be setting out the ceiling or something tomorrow. Friday at this old French house. Been scratching around all morning. It's because of, like, obviously the earlier video clip saying about not being able to get anything. Been a bit limited on what I can do, so this morning this has been cleaned out on this side as well, and everything restacked and repositioned. Same again, all the snots and everything cleaned away, all ready for the next part of the job. My friend's coming soon with his van. My van is poorly, so he's going to go take me to get a load of building materials. This is called Celtex. It's a PIR board, rigid insulation for the flooring. It's 100mm, which is recommended for the floors. We've also got some 25mm. That needs to be cut into 150mm strips. What happens is basically the big sheets go down, but up against this edge you put a 150mm piece just that way up. It's a little job that needs doing, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the board down, get it all cut, and then it's just ready. And then this afternoon, once we've got all the metal, I'm going to start setting out the ceiling. The project will start moving pretty quickly soon once we get some decent materials here. It's been a bit slow for quite a while. It's just the nature of the job. Sometimes I can't be here, sometimes I can't do what I want to do. Obviously that roof is out of my hands at the moment until I have a meeting with my mate and we get the materials here, but in here we can start progressing once I get the metal and stuff. Right. Right, there's a really clever trick for cutting plasterboard in thin Celtex like this using a tape measure and a blade. I will go into a proper detailed video about it later on when I'm actually doing the dry lining side of things. Like, I'm a professional at this sort of stuff, so it comes easy to me, but there's a good technique. It's all about pinching the tape and the knife together, and then you find your measurement and then just run it down, easy peasy, like this. When you're really good at it, that will literally be within a mil or two of tolerance. Like, it really is an accurate way of cutting. Trick is it's slow and steady. If you go too fast, you'll burn your actual finger, which I've done many times. Right, so what I do is just a nice light score, then you need to go do it again. If you go through at least halfway, it'll get quite a clean score, and then it can snap and clean. So I'll show you now. So that's me just snapping it down and run the blade through again. And there you have a nice cut. Happy days. Right, I'll get the rest of them done. Right, we'll see how that gets used a little bit later on in an upcoming video. Right then, I've been just setting out for where all the ceiling rails are going to go. So over here, because the board's at 2.5 metres, it's recommended you set out at 500 centres. So basically what's happened, if I climb up, we've got markings every 500 centres. And what that means is when we put the first board up, it'll butt up against there, and then and at 2.5 there'll be a join, and then it'll flow on the whole way across. Basically saves on messing around with doing any cuts or anything like that. Also, another thing that I've done, because we've got to put this cavity wall in to allow for the insulation, 150mm cavity, what I've done is I've come off the wall and marked where 150 is, which is there, and then measured back 50mm. So the reason for that is when we put this stud wall in here, if we put a rail in there ready, we've got somewhere to fix to. Now if I'd have just put it there without thinking, at a later date we'd come to put this top track up and there'd be no fixing. So being a smart ass, I've just moved the rail out a little bit further so we've got a decent fixing. It's little things like that when you're in the game, you sort of, you know to do these sort of things. So it just saves a little bit of time and effort sorting it out at a later date. Right, I'm just waiting around for Wayne now, so I'm going to sit down and chill out. There's nothing really else I can do apart from labouring outside, and it's hot, so I'm not going to bother.
Hey, right, I know my regular viewers will notice it's been a bit slack recently with the uploads. The main reason is with summer here, it's the time when all my clients are basically here and they all want their projects done. So I've been working hard trying to keep them all happy, because obviously I've got a business to run. It's how I earn my money. It sucks. It really gets in the way of doing the build, but it's just the way it is. The other big reason is finances. Basically, we had a financial backer and they spent the money, which has caused a bit of hassle. So we had to approach someone else to lend us more money. Finally, a couple of weeks ago, we had a release of funds which will pretty much now do most of the build, bar probably the fosse septique and basically the rendering, we think. We've just opened up a French bank account, so once all that's settled down and I've got the card through, which hopefully will be next week, we can transfer the money across and then we'll be good to go again, which would be brilliant. Like I also said, my van's out of action, which is a pain as well when you're a builder, so it's been all up against us, but that's the joys of doing a self-build. Like, you've only got to watch Grand Designs and that to realise most people have a bit of a nightmare when they're doing the older self-build. So I'm not letting it get me down. It's just a bit frustrating because I do enjoy doing my uploads, and chatting about what I'm getting up to with you guys. So yeah, just hold in there, and there'll be lots more videos to come. I'm currently working on a nice project. I might show you some pictures in videos of that in a couple of weeks. I've got 2 more weeks work with him, and then I'll be working back on my house in between running another job. So hopefully after tomorrow I'll know what's happening with the roof, and then we can move on. Right, till the next time, guys.